Well, the Grey Cup champs head into week 3, still looking for their first win after losses against the Eskimos and the Rough Riders. The Stampeders look to turn it around against the Ticats tonight.
A Hamilton team that is coming off a loss of their own versus Winnipeg. The Cats are snarly and backed in a corner.
It's a perfect night for it. 29 degrees. The wind will not be a factor. West at 5.
Wally Buono, as a head coach, has 147 wins to his credit. One more, and he is second all time. But this game is all about what have you done for me lately, and that one more win has been hard to come by.
Ticat coach Ron Lancaster has seen it all in 42 years in the CFL. Until last week, though, he had never witnessed back-to-back block punts against any team. It cost the Ticats 10 points in a 9-point Hamilton loss in Winnipeg.
I think it's safe to say that Paul Osbaldiston, Ron Lancaster, and all the special teams worked hard on their assignments this week preparing for this game versus Calgary.
I would believe that and think that everybody paid perfect attention in the special teams meetings. Ready to get it underway. Roman Adams, Kelvin Anderson deep for the Calgary Stampeders. And this is the rookie.
Oh,
Roman Adams.
They're hitting already.
At the 30-yard line. 15 on the return, and we're underway at Ivor Wynn. Grey Cup MVP Marcus Crandall is still looking to regain his form from last season. Crandall is 0 for 2 in 2002 as the Stampeders search for their first victory here tonight. 4 touchdown tosses already, however. His counterpart, Danny McManus, is looking for his first. Stampeders beginning at the 30 with a 5-receiver set. Crandall looks to the release valve and Kelvin Anderson, and the ball squirted loose, but I think the whistle had gone. Memories of last night, but they got it right here.
I'm not sure they got it right last night, but they did get it right here. He was down.
Looking at the rest of the offense, he still has Travis Moore and Kelvin Anderson. Peterson, Johnson, and Tunkara, all first-year receivers. Childress and Crysdale are long-serving veterans for the Stampeders along the offensive line. Ten yards to gain, enough for a first down. Kelvin Anderson.
Defensively for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, Tim Cheatwood's off to a great start. The newcomer in the defensive line has 11 tackles and 1 sack. Warren Musica gets a start at middle linebacker. And in the secondary, what a start for Rob Hitchcock. 2 interceptions in 2 games. Be watching Warren Musica in one of his rare starts in his 4-year Hamilton Tiger Cat career.
Second down and 7. Crandall with time, far side, too high. Tight coverage by Diedrich Mathis.
Warren Musica steps up to take the crossing route, number 27, right in front of Marcus Crandall, so he has to look to the outside, and then the timing is a little bit off for Crandall, and he has to just throw that one up and out of bounds. Musica took that short throw.
Duncan O'Mahony, nice average, 46.5. Standing back at his 30. Stephen Fisher, Mace Freeman, deep for the Tiger Cats. This is a beauty. A little trouble on the return.
Look out.
Freeman has some room to get around the near side. Needs a block there. Won't get one. Cut from behind. Still out to the 42-yard line with a 28-yard return for Mace Freeman. Newcomer Brian Nugent led the tacklers for the Stampeders.
Picket fence set up right along the right-hand side. Freeman finally gets the handle, and then he comes along. Watch the picket fence. One block there, another block right there. Ticats are pretty sharp on special teams early in this football game. No surprise there, is it?
Not really. Ticats begin 1st and 10, just shy of the 40-yard line. Troy Davis.
Boy, they hit.
Big hit. Danny McManus has not thrown a touchdown pass in 2 games. who was off form in last Friday's loss to the Bombers. 3 interceptions and 459 yards total.
Yeah, and a completion percentage of 48.6 after 2 games, which is below Danny McManus standards. And didn't see him in the pregame and didn't see him out there kind of hanging out. So one thing about good quarterbacks, and McManus certainly a good quarterback, said they're not cold for long.
Second down and 8. McManus shotgun. Quick release. Amerson was the target. The coverage was too tight. Ticats do have a veteran receiving corps with Akins, Amerson, Flutie, and Grigg. The running back is Troy Davis. And up front there is one key change. Rookie Ryan Donnelly out of McMaster starts at right guard.
Mike Mihalik out there. Samir Shaheen also out. So Ryan Donnelly, he's a little bit nervous for this one.
Went to school just down the street on the hill at McMaster. Osbaldiston. A wobbly kick. It's not deep. And out near the 40-yard line. No chance for a return. It's Wendy's Friday Night Football from Ivor Wynn.
And for preparation for Warren Muzica for this game, getting to start because of a couple of injuries, one to Ron Merkerson and then Haven Fields, his preparation isn't all that different because he is a backup and he's required to know exactly what he has to do just in case during a game he had to play.
Stampeders, the 4 receiver set. Crandall goes to the far side. He's got Travis Moore, and Moore breaks 1 for a first down out near midfield. Hasn't been a particularly sharp start for Travis Moore when you look at the numbers he's accustomed to getting. 7 catches for 103 yards coming in.
Yeah, and last year when he had 1,298 yards and 76 catches and 6 touchdowns, and that's the type of season that Travis Moore is accustomed to. 7 catches is not too bad, but he's pretty good after he catches the ball with those yards after catch.
Another Stampeder first down. Kelvin Anderson is cut down, and that's Warren Muzica. Lancaster is really high on this kid.
Well, and he's pretty excited to play it, and this is really a run blitz for Warren Muzica, who's just going to go up into the line of scrimmage on the snap of the ball. If that's not a running play from Calgary, he continues on and goes after Marcus Crandall. Ends up being a running play, and he is right in the hole.
Loss of 2, 2nd and 12. Stampeders, 5 receivers in. Over the middle, it's Travis Moore, and he stopped well short of a first down. Dwayne Butler, number 25, wrapped him up.
Warren Muzica one more time does a nice job on Travis Moore. Here, watch him right in here in your screen. Going to take a little bit of a drop, and then he just gets enough of Travis Moore as he comes across in front of him from the left of your screen. Watch him. He steps up. He pushes Travis Moore about 2 yards shallower than he wants to be, and that closes down the play.
O'Mani, a 56-yarder the first time. Freeman and Fisher are deep. Another nice one by Duncan O'Mani. Oh, this is Fisher, had trouble with it, lost the ball. Stampeders look for it in the end zone. Still loose. Still loose. And now the Stampeders get the touchdown as a result. It's Greg Freres coming up with a loose ball. How many guys had a chance at that?
Well, there were 24 on the field. I think all of them had a shot at it. 12 per side. More special teams problems for Ron Lancaster. I thought watching the first couple of special teams plays from the Ticats that they were ready to go. That opening kickoff looked sharp. The one return by Freeman looked good. But this fumble, and it looked like that ball may have been right in the sun.
Well, the rookie Steve Fisher couldn't find it, and Greg Freres finally did in the end zone, and that'll get the Stampeders off to a roaring start.
Everyone had a shot at it for the Calgary Stampeders and the Ticats. It was fumbled at around the 7-yard line, ended up about 10 yards deep in the end zone before it was recovered. Finally by Greg Frères. This is just follow the bouncing ball. There it goes on the ground. That's about the 6-yard line. It's pushed around the end zone. Everyone thought they had it there. Then it keeps going. A couple more cracks at it. You know when you hear coaches say don't stop until you hear the whistle? That's sort of what they're talking about. You never know. That ball squirts out one more time. You got a shot at it, and Greg Frères finished with it.
For his 3rd career touchdown. Stampeders take advantage of a special teams turnover and take the lead. Greg Frères finds a loose ball in the Hamilton end zone. Lancaster has seen this happen a couple of times this season so far.
See how the sun is going right down on Steve Fisher. He's trying to pick up that ball. He lost it completely in the sun. I'm not sure if he even got a chance at it at the very beginning. It was outside of his fingertips.
Well, last week, a nightmare punting the ball.
David Benefield. And then the very next time Osbaldiston went to punt, Brad Yamoka got him. Led to 10 points, and they also fumbled one just like they just did here. Gave the ball to Winnipeg in good field position.
Lancaster has 3 deep now, looking into the sun for this kickoff after the touchdown. Mace Freeman has it. Well covered by Stampeders special teams, and a hat rolls off down there. Lawrence Deck lost his. 66-yard kickoff, 16 on the return.
Calgary Stampeders, led by Alondra Johnson, have 6 new starters, 5 of them in the front 7. The good news is Tyrone Rogers and Steve Anderson both have CFL experience. Anderson, of course, 4 years in Calgary. And there's the secondary. Greg Frères already has a touchdown in this game on the fumble recovery.
Starting lineups brought to you by Midas. See Midas for all your car care needs. Ticats first down. McManus shotgun. Looking deep. Anderson's got it right out at midfield. Another long ball given up by the Stampeders. Joe Barnes made the tackle.
This has been a problem for Calgary. The long ball. Week 1, they gave up a 101-yarder. In week 2, a 100-yarder in the loss to the Saskatchewan Roughriders. This one won't find the end zone, but again, that long ball, a problem for the Stamps.
Yeah, this by comparison is not 1/3 as bad, just 37 yards. But it gets the Tiger Cats a little momentum after giving up the first touchdown of the game. Davis, nice hole for Troy Davis inside the 30.
Interesting formation from the Ticats. They had Dwayne Ford as the wide receiver to the left side, 4 receivers to the right. It really spread out the Calgary Stampeders defensively. They weren't really sure how to cover this off. 4 receivers up to the top of the screen. Troy Davis, now he only has to beat 1 man. That's James Burgess, who steps up into the middle and is way off, about 3 holes away from Troy Davis.
Tony Akins to the near side. This is Davis again. About 3 yards, and there's another loose helmet on the turf down there.
There are hats flying everywhere in this game. The contact has been a physical game already. That was Willie Harvey who lost his lid. Troy Davis off to a good start in this game. Good balance from the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
1,439 all-purpose yards for Davis last year.
One of the reasons that they will try to attack the Calgary Stampeders along the ground is that in 2 games they've given up an average of 203 yards.
2nd and 9. McManus buys a little time. Flutie was the target, and no flags anywhere, so it'll be a kicking situation for the Tiger Cats.
And for Danny McManus to get back on track, and he hasn't been on track in 2 games, he needs to have the help up front. And he's got a new guy in Ryan Donnelly at that right guard, but he's got veterans, Dave Hack and Gary Brown, and this time he has time. Steps up in that lane. He just did not have a open receiver, and that's what Danny McManus is accustomed to. He's accustomed to staying on his feet.
CFL record in 1999 set by the Tiger Cats, allowing just 7 sacks. Here's Osbaldiston. And the Tiger Cats are on the board. 34-yard strike by Paul Osbaldiston. It's been fun so far, hasn't it?
Well, Hamilton comes up with an answer.
Lots of action, and we'll be back for more. Who's got the biggest problem? Wally Bono with his secondary, or Ron Lancaster with special teams?
Well, I think special teams is more of a fixable problem. When you look at the secondary, physically, some of those DBs are getting beat deep, and that's a concern, obviously, for Wally Bono. But
Wally Bono can be in second spot all by himself with 148 victories, with a victory tonight, and Lancaster breaks a tie with Eagle Keys if he wins tonight.
Wins are hard to come by, aren't they?
They have been in the early going this season for these two teams. Stampeders, after giving up the field goal, begin at the 35. Tunkara to the near side, and the handoff goes to Kelvin Anderson.
Kelvin Anderson, had a nice conversation with him before the game. I started out with, what's going on over there? And he said, you know, everyone's talking about our changes defensively and how many times, how many guys we've lost. But he said, I will put it on my shoulders and on our offensive shoulders. When you look at those career numbers, that's why he's saying that. Kelvin Anderson knows nothing other than a 1,000-yard season or more.
He's the Stampeders' all-time leading rusher. And he gets it again. Easily the first down. Muzica in the middle for the Tiger Cats tonight. Made the stop.
You know, and good teams do that, John. Good teams don't point fingers. What they do is they take it upon themselves. They look in the mirror when things aren't going well, and they say, how can I get a little bit better to improve our football team? Calvin Anderson has been an all-star every year he's been in the league, and he looked in the mirror and said, I could be better.
He began his career as the Rookie of the Year, 1996. Crandall, a target far side. It's Travis Moore. That will be another first down.
And when I say all-star, I don't mean he's been on the all-star team every year. I just mean that he's been an all-star player. If you're keeping track at home.
Many years. He was a Western all-star last year again.
And talk about all-stars. How about Travis Moore and getting him on track? Interesting battle between Travis Moore as an inside receiver on Troy Saunders and Dwayne Butler, depending on what side he lines up on.
Tight formation, bunched in there. Anderson again. He's running well tonight and halfway to another first down. Plus a couple. Looks like a 7-yard gain.
Yeah, and when you look at Kelvin Anderson in 2 games and you look at that average, 3.8 yards. In his career, Kelvin Anderson's average is 5 yards per carry. He has 48 touchdowns. 5 yards per carry, 14 carries per game. In that respect, he's been close in 2 games, but the average is down, and he knows it. That's why he feels he has to play better.
2nd and 3, and again, the Ticats, or the Stampeders, keep everyone in close. Here's Crandall in trouble. Good defensive play coming over the top. Brandon Hamilton. Excellent play by the Ticat secondary.
Well, there's 2 good plays on it for Hamilton. One is Lamont Bryant, who keeps containment up the top of your screen. Watch the play action fake there. Now Crandall goes up 53, stops him and pulls him up, makes him turn back into the middle. That gave Brandon Hamilton just enough time to come across and knock that ball down. Perfect timing from Hamilton at the back end of the play. Pretty good position from Lamont Bryant at the front end.
A little bit of a breeze behind Mark McLaughlin as he gets set for his first field goal attempt tonight. McLaughlin and Osbaldiston are going toe-to-toe for 2nd spot in all-time CFL scoring, and they're even on this evening with 1 each. McLaughlin nails a 48-yarder. The Stamps have a 10-3 lead. Hamilton, it's Wendy's Friday Night Football. Ticats and Stampeders. McManus near side, open target. Trevor Shaw, nice play. Trevor Shaw could start for a couple of teams in this league.
Sure can.
He's really the 5th receiver in the Ticat scheme of things.
You know, when you look at that secondary for the Calgary Stampeders, they've been victimized deep in 2 games. And when you're victimized deep, you give a little more room. Sean Austin backs off of Trevor Shaw. There's only one real change in that secondary. And that's Deshaun Austin in for Ricky Bell, who's in Ottawa.
Shaw picked up 18. And this is Troy Davis.
And, you know, so you look at a veteran group. Joe Barnes back there. William Fields, he's in his second season. Played all last year. In fact, tied for second with 5 interceptions. There's the new guy, Deshaun Austin. He's in for Ricky Bell, who was picked up in the expansion draft from Ottawa. So, and Austin was in a couple of games last year.
He was around for the playoffs as well, and the Grey Cup.
Yeah, Wally Buono is a little disappointed so far with the fact that he's got guys that were there last year that just aren't playing at the level they need to be playing at.
2nd and 8, McManus. Whoa! Hit Aikens right in the midst. And he turned around a little bit too late to squeeze it.
Well, his hands were in the right place, but his
Absolutely.
eyes weren't. That's the difference. He goes down the seam, and he's trying to fight off the coverage from Kelly Malvo. And as he turns to fight off Malvo, who's just irritating him enough
Look what's
to keep his head
here.
The ball arrives right in his hands. Now that goes down as an incompletion to Danny McManus, and really shouldn't.
He put it on the money. The rookie Adams returning for the Stampeders. Out across the 20, stopped at the 22.
John, 2 plays ago, 14-year veteran Alondra Johnson recorded a tackle, and it's a special tackle for Alondra Johnson. Here it was, a couple plays ago, stepped up in the pocket like he's done for 14 years. One of the best in the game from tackle to tackle. That's number 1,000 for Alondra Johnson.
Strong words about his team prior to the game and what had to be done to turn things around, but that spot, over 1,000 tackles, leaves him in 2nd place all time. And coming into this game tonight, he was 242 behind the great Willie Pless.
Oh, boy, they hit.
Whoa! Kelvin Anderson took a huge hit down there.
They are hit tonight. That was Sean Woodson. And Sean Woodson, no regard for his body. That's stepping up in the hole, throwing those hips in there, and putting a little plastic on plastic, helmet to helmet.
Woodson, an Eastern All-Star in 2001. Ticats have an extra defensive back in for this 5-receiver set from the Stampeders. Travis Moore, most active of the Calgary receivers tonight. Talked about him earlier. Just 7 catches coming in, and that's 4 tonight.
And it looks like Marcus Crandall is finally locking in to Travis Moore. Is going to work one-on-one on Troy Saunders. Saunders is in a one-on-one because the Ticats went with the blitz. He tried to grab him, didn't get away with that. And Travis Moore comes up with a nice catch. So we'll take a look at this matchup as this game goes on.
First down for Calgary after an 11-yard gain for Moore. Crandall steps up and had to fire that one into the turf.
You know, and sometimes Travis Moore will play on the side of Troy Saunders. Sometimes he'll flop over to the wide side and play on Dwayne Butler where he is there. And see that nice move to the inside? That's a great shake. And then find the open area. And his quarterback was under too much pressure. So if he's on the wide side, it's Dwayne Butler. If he's on the short side, it's Troy Saunders.
2nd and 10. Calgary. Stampeder 36. More pressure on Crandall, and he had to fire that one away as well. Fitzpatrick and McField.
This time, we talk about that matchup, John, between Dwayne Butler, Troy Saunders. It starts out with Butler on Travis Moore. See, now he drops him off to Troy Saunders. So sometimes Travis Moore is not dealing with just a one-on-one situation. Sometimes he has to deal with both Butler and Saunders. Pretty good coverage.
O'Malley is in. Freeman and Fisher deep for the Tiger Cats around the Hamilton 30. has nailed a couple tonight. Mace Freeman. Little stutter step to find room to the outside. Well read by Calgary special teams. Just 10 on the return.
Here's what Freeman has to look at. You saw the fumble earlier in the game by Steve Fisher. Look at the sun. If you're standing field level, that ball gets up there in that sun, and it is awful tough to watch it. You have to try and follow it and keep your hands up there. Here's the first one. This is a fumble. This is Steve Fisher. Now he tries to block it a little bit by moving to his right and can't find the handle at all. That time, Freeman, before the kick, put his hands up over the sun, try and get a beat on it, and he hung on to the football.
First down, Ticats. McManus shotgun. Quick release near side. And he was behind Darren Flutie. Would sun be a factor for McManus there?
Well, it's tough if your receiver's right in the line of the sun. It's more difficult for the receivers coming back the other way. In other words, the Calgary receivers who have to go down the field, turn back and look into that sun, especially on a long ball when it gets up, hangs in the sun, and then drops out of there. So the Hamilton receivers will deal with it after this play if they get a first down.
Into the next quarter, in other words. McManus, far side. Andrew Gregg makes the catch, and he's inbounds. I like the way this guy plays the game. Number 89, Andrew Gregg, finally over 1,000 yards in receiving in one season last year.
Big catch keeps the drive alive.
It's Wendy's Friday Night Football, and quarter one is complete at Ivor Wynn in Hamilton.
Welcome back to the CFL Live studios. You know, coming into this football game, the Calgary Stampeders have been outscored in the first quarters of their previous two, 35-0. Tonight they get their first period points. Kind of a gift from the special teams, Jock.
Well, kind of a gift from the sun. I mean, I played with that, and it's very low on the horizon in Hamilton. It's really only an issue in the first quarter. And here we see the first punt of the game, and in fact, Mace Freeman fumbles this punt. Luckily for him, he recovers. Now we see Mace looking under the sun, trying to shield his eyes. You can tell it was an issue. Sure enough, up goes the punt, and Stephen Fisher fumbles it this time, but this one cost him a touchdown as opposed to the other one, which actually resulted in a big gain. Now, the key to catching footballs in the sun is staring through the sun, having confidence that eventually it's going to come out of the sun. The problem is when the sun's low on the horizon, that you can see the ball clearly when it's high, that then it comes into the sun when it starts to drop low.
Well, let me talk about, don't do that to me, let me talk about some of the positives with the Hamilton Ticats. Timmy Cheatwood, watch him on the backside of this play. The slot back Johnson does a very poor job of trying to cut him off. So Cheatwood says, well, fine, if you're not going to make the effort to block me, I'm going to go tackle your running back. Then the other kid, Warren Musica, he's got a lot of pressure on him tonight. He slices through the offensive line, makes another hit, a negative hit on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage. Both those guys are doing good. The next guy, Ryan Donnelly's doing a pretty admirable job in the first quarter. Here's the issue, though. In the first quarter, your adrenaline and your energy is just flying. We'll see how they develop as this game goes on, Maddie.
Chris, I'm watching the offense of the Calgary Stampeders and how Marcus Crandall is setting things up. And I think he's doing a beautiful job of being patient, relying on the entire team, all facets of the game to take place. I look at what Marcus is doing. He's finding his go-to receiver, Travis Moore. Already in the first quarter, he's hit him 4 times. This is a good sign for the Stampeders to get that offense going.
They wanted to get a good start tonight in the first quarter, and they have it on the road with a 10-3 lead. Let's send you back to Ivor Wynn Stadium for second quarter action. John and Glenn.
And Dave, a perfect night for it here at Ivor Wynn. Stampeders have a 7-point lead, and here's part of the reason why.
Perfect night unless you're a punt returner. That one turnover, the big difference, of course, led to the touchdown. The punt returners would like this sun to just drop down below the horizon.
Stampeders dominating time of possession. McManus for the Tiger Cats has that one batted down at the line. So it'll be 2nd and 10.
The only defensive lineman returning from last year's Grey Cup team for the Calgary Stampeders, Jeff Traversy, got his hands on that ball. And you talk about the young guys up there, Willie Harvey, Melvin Bradley. There's Traversy right in the middle of your screen. Get his big mid up there and knock it down. Those young guys in 2 games never really had a veteran like Traversy, who hasn't had a lot of playing time, to turn to the guy and say, hey, what did I do wrong? While they're on the field. The coaches can coach him up, but they haven't had that opportunity without the veterans beside them.
2nd and 10, McManus down the side. Here's Andrew Gregg. He's got it. He'll score the touchdown, except for Greg Frers. He was there. Greg makes a terrific play.
Well, great concentration to hang on to that football. Deshaun Austin gambled at it. He was trying to pick up the play and trying to pick up the interception.
Uh-oh, back at the line.
And again, that's unlikely a factor for Deshaun Austin, who lost the football. It bounced in Greg's hands.
Major foul. Face mask. Hamilton 68. Repeat 2nd down.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, that's a biggie.
Face masking call.
Dave Hack, you go from knocking on the doorstep inside the 10-yard line to your own end of the field.
Net loss, Glenn, 63 yards.
There's Dave Hack right off the edge, and let's just take a look. Him working on Melvin Bradley, and he's got his left hand way up in the face mask of Bradley. You can tell by the way his head is cranked all the way back.
2nd and 25. Let's see how McManus can recover here. He's got Davis, but he's wrapped up. And a loss of 63 yards is hard to swallow. You don't see a face masking call against an offensive lineman all that often. He must have been up under.
Well, and it took
Usually
away,
it's on a tackle is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it took away a pretty play here for Andrew Gregg, who showed tremendous concentration to hang on to that ball, because Deshaun Austin really had the best shot of it in the long pass. He was waiting almost like a punt underneath that football.
So Travis Moore gets to stare into the sun back at the Stampeder 25. Ozzie has not had a big night kicking, although he gets a pretty nice roll. And Moore taken out near the 34. Wrapped up by rookie John McDonald. 14 on the return, 52 on the punts.
Marcus Crandall is ready to play. Are you? Play $1 Million Touchdown to win at Safeway. If your name appears, you've won. JBC's DVD CD player Hi-Fi VHS cassette recorder. It's not only possible, it's as easy as JBC. Or Sultan's Quick and Easy Combo Health Grill and Rice Cooker Plus. Enjoy delicious food cooked the healthy way. Swipe your club card at Safeway and play $1 Million Touchdown to win.
At the Coors Light Brewing Company, we employ a highly sophisticated field research team that's committed to bringing you an ice-cold, easy drinking taste. So, when you've got front row seats, we've got front row seats. When you're watching the game, we're watching the game. And when you're getting your eyebrow pierced, we're watching the game. Coors Light, why not take a silver bullet for the team?
There's one thing I will never stop chasing, the finish line. I'm Katrina LeMay Doan, Power Bar user since 1997.
You're about to experience a different kind of power. New Power Stripe from Gillette Series. A stripe of extra odor-fighting ingredients makes it very powerful. And power is a sexy thing.
Well, a little luck helps sometimes, because this was not a great punt by Paul Osbaldiston.
Well, you've heard of the shooter's roll in basketball? Well, look at this. Look at the angle of this punt. Hold it right there, guys. It's going straight out of bounds. It hits the turf right there and takes a right turn. That's a veteran's bounce for Paul Osbaldiston.
Stampeders dodged a bullet. Kelvin Anderson on first down. Out across the 40. Looked like the Tiger Cats were going to come up with points on the last drive until the face masking call.
Boy, what about the start for Tim Cheatwood? And it's interesting, I talked to Mike Roach, defensive coordinator for the Calgary Stampeders. He said they were looking at Cheatwood, and Roach is right here to the left of your screen. Mike Roach was looking at Cheatwood. They didn't sign him in time. He ended up with Hamilton, and it's off to a great start with a sack and 11 tackles in 2 weeks.
2nd and 3. Kelvin Anderson won't get there.
You know, it's amazing, these free agent camps that teams run, and it's usually now because of economics by invitation only, where they'll go down to California or they'll go to Texas and they'll have a whole bunch of players, sometimes 100, 150 players will show up, and out of that, they do 5 or 6 of them throughout the offseason, and out of that, they maybe get 4 players in training camp. What a find Tim Cheatwood has been when you consider he is replacing Big Joe Mumford.
Cheatwood spent time in the XFL, and Lancaster was saying yesterday, you know, the XFL wasn't that bad a deal in a lot of ways for Canadian Football League teams, because a lot of talent was uncovered as a result of the XFL, and he's found 2 or 3 guys, including Lamont Bryant.
No question, and that's exactly, that was maybe the only positive thing about U.S. expansion in the Canadian Football League, was that it for a few years trained football players that grew up in the States to play our game.
And guys got experience in the XFL, found homes elsewhere, not only here, but across the pond in NFL Europe.
Well, so did coaches.
And coaches did as well. Too deep for the Tiger Cats. O'Mani across his 30. High bounce to Stephen Fisher. Flag is down on the return.
That'll be no yards.
So a tough beginning to the night for Steve Fisher. The fumble cost the Tiger Cats 7 points.
But he conceded the ball now.
Going the other way. Lots more ahead from Hamilton. Shirt down on the sidelines. Here's David Amber.
Yeah, John, I'm not sure if it's perfect if you're in football equipment. At kickoff, it was 40 degrees Celsius. It's cooled off, but remember, it's past 8 o'clock local time here in Hamilton. 2 weeks ago, when Hamilton had their home opener against BC, a number of players left the game with heat-related problems. Something to keep your eye on, the fatigue that could play a role in this game, guys.
Thanks, David. Here's McManus rolling right. And Dwayne Ford makes the catch out near the 51.
It's a good point that is made there with the heat. And when you look at that defensive line for the Calgary Stampeders, Willie Harvey, a rookie, Melvin Bradley, a rookie at 270 pounds and 285 respectively. Those are 2 guys that the heat can affect in a big way.
Well, and how about Tyrone Rogers up there as well, and Steve Anderson both getting into action for the first time. Nice hole opened up for Troy Davis, and he'll have a first down with ease.
And now Willie Harvey can look to his right or left, depending on where Steve Anderson is lined up, and say, hey, how do I adjust what just happened? That was a first down. And he'll look to Steve Anderson, and Anderson will confidently look in his eyes, say, hey, you just fill that gap. You do it as quickly as you possibly can, and we've got a chance. And that's the experience that both Tyrone Rogers and Steve Anderson will bring to that huddle.
First down, Tiger Cats. McManus has Flutie. Nice move. He'll get the first down. Terrific play by Darren Flutie after making the catch.
Well, it's particularly nice because Darren Flutie has been nursing a sore hamstring, and to make the cuts that he did after he caught the ball here, you can see the hamstring looks pretty good. That cut right there, and then another one there to get down and underneath the tackle. Darren Flutie's getting closer now. He's 3 away from becoming second place ahead of Don Narcisse.
Second to Alan Pitts. Davis. What a huge hole open for Davis here, and a great move. He is inside the 15, down to about the 12. Deshaun Austin made the tackle. One of the problems the Stampeders have had in 2 weeks is against the run. 406 yards allowed in 2 games.
Steve Ed, look at the hole that is opened up right here at the point of attack. Great blocking up front. Paul Lambert was the key at center position, and Ryan Donnelly, the newcomer, and Troy Davis hits it in a hurry.
26 yards for Davis, straight up the middle, first down. Tiger Cats. McManus out of the pocket, a little flip, and Davis didn't see it in time.
McManus trying to go
a jump pass.
Well, it was the alley-oop, but Troy Davis really doesn't want any part of the oop. because the oop was going to be an oops because Troy Davis was going to get smacked.
The alley is okay.
The alley's all right. That's a little alley right there, and McManus had no choice. He either does that or he takes the loss. At the other end, though, Troy Davis has to kind of wait for this to come down. Here comes the alley, and here comes the oop. And he goes, whoa, Willie Fells was going to make it a oops.
You're right about that. It'll be 2nd and 10. Ticats at the Stampeder 12. McManus to the corner, and he missed. Troy Davis was the intended target.
McManus' frustration is starting to show a little bit, and he has really not got off to the start of the season that we're accustomed to. And maybe one of the reasons was that Troy Davis down on the goal line is not normally Danny McManus's primary target in this situation. In the past, he has looked to number 82 as quickly as he can. Troy Davis is a great running back out of the backfield. As a receiver, Darren Flutie's been his go-to guy.
Paul Osbaldiston. Greg has it down. Ozzie has it up. And he's 2 for 2 tonight. Ticats creep a little closer, but the Stampeders are still on top by 4. Clicking the way they have in past years together.
Well, and you got to say, well, who's to blame? Darren Flutie comes out here. Hold it right there. If you can, see, right in there had to be a better pick from Archie Amerson to open up Darren Flutie. He's not open. Barnes standing right behind him, but it's not necessarily Darren Flutie's fault. Danny McManus had to go to Troy Davis on the other side.
Stampeders begin with a 5-receiver set at the 35 on first down. Crandall got rid of it in a hurry. Musica had a hand on it, couldn't bring it all the way down.
Hey, number 53 coming off the edge for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and that is Joe. No, it's not Joe. It's not Joe Mumford, but it is 53, and he's coming off the edge right in the middle there. Make nice inside move for Lamont Bryant.
We told the story a couple of weeks ago, but Lamont Bryant was offered another number rather than take 53. And following in the footsteps of Joe Montford, and he said he's not bothered by ghosts. Two and out for the Stampeders.
Well, this time
Patrick was there.
This time Lamont Bryant had to go, and he had to get a cab fare. See, he needed about $5 here to get around the Big Chill, and then just for good measure, Jay McNeil comes in with Chill. Interesting matchup again. Lamont Bryant, who, like you mentioned, he said he didn't care. He wants to wear 53 up against the Big Chill. Talks kind of like this, but about eight octaves lower.
No, he's way deep.
He's way down.
He's Barry White deep. 2 and out for the Stampeders on back-to-back series. Here's O'Malley. Stephen Fisher gets a little room to the outside, gets a block. And a flag comes down as he's dropped by Ib Tunkara. Wendy's Friday Night Football. It's Calgary 10, Hamilton 6.
You could win free Shell gas for a year at Best Western or one of thousands of other great prizes in Best Western Sleep and Win Instant Win Game. Best Western, the world's largest hotel chain. Call 1-800-WESTERN today.
TSN and SportCheck.ca give you a chance to win a behind-the-scenes CFL Friday Night Football game experience. Feel the Stamps take on the Ticats. Witness a live broadcast on field and in the production truck. Then take home Puma team jerseys and more. Register now at SportCheck.ca.
Hold against the Tiger Cats, Mark Verbeek on the return, so the Ticats are way back near the 30-yard line. And I think Danny McManus is getting a little ticked off. Troy Davis.
I think you may be right, and Danny McManus has put up a lot better numbers than he has over 2 weeks of the season so far. And when you look at last week, 17 of 39, has yet to throw a touchdown pass.
That's 43% last week, and that's well below Danny McManus standards.
You know, and Darren Flutie, and when he comes into the game with 8 catches, just 95 yards, that's maybe part of the story.
On the evening, 6 of 13. Second down, McManus has Amerson. That'll be a first down. Ticats out near the 50. Archie Amerson 8 receptions for 117 yards coming in.
Yeah, Archie Emerson, he can say over 2 weeks he had his man. You know, and I'm not saying that as if he's a defender. I'm saying it because he can look in the mirror and say, yeah, I feel pretty confident I can sign my name at the bottom of 2 games. Archie Emerson, pretty good week 1 versus BC. 5 catches, almost 100 yards.
Davis.
I love it.
Troy Davis.
Davis had to reach way down in the bag of tricks to come up with that one. Watch this. I'm going to come this way. The old Davis spinorama breaks on. Around and go. McManus tries to get Elijah Johnson. Gets a piece of him. Enough to get Troy Davis another 10 yards.
Nice. A little spinorama move without question. And a 15-yard gain for the Tiger Cats. McManus shotgun. A little low, but Flutie comes up with it and then dives for another yard after that.
Good protection for Danny McManus. Had a nice throwing lane. He had to throw this ball to the outside to Flutie, who comes up with a shoestring catch. I'm going to show you a nice throwing lane here as he drops back. The throwing lane is created to his left. See how he steps up in it? And that's a great sight line to go and see Darren Flutie wide open. And he's got to throw it to the outside. The defender's on his way. Flutie comes up with a catch.
And a rollover for an extra yard to get it close enough for this measure.
John, coming into this game, Darren Flutie, 1,366 yards behind Alan Pitts to become the all-time guy. Now, that's 85.4 yards a game. The way he started has started over 2 games, the per game numbers kept going up. 85.4, and he moves past Alan Pitts on that list. Flutie so far has a couple of catches, 23 yards, so he's quite a ways off the 85 he needs per game, and that's a lot of yards per game.
Flutie with a couple tonight is 1 yard shy of Don Narcisse for second spot all time in catches. Davis on 3rd and inches or 2nd and inches ran into Alondra Johnson, who has moved in to 2nd place all time.
Just keeps adding to those tackle totals. Big Alondra Johnson right here. You see how he's patient? That's 14 years veteran right there. He waits, and then he steps up in the hole. He waits till the wash disappears. The wash is that offensive and defensive lineman battling each other. Then he just slides to the football.
Hamilton first down at the 35. Troy Davis makes the catch. Deshaun Austin forced him out.
Troy Davis right on the sideline. He's got the one-on-one on the outside, and he's just going to turn off. And look at the cushion set up right there. That's about a 10-yard cushion from Deshaun Austin. He can't break up in time and really just wants that ball to be thrown in front of him and not give up the big play like they've been doing for 2 weeks.
Really an important drive for the Tiger Cats here, considering the problems they've had already tonight and their lack of production on offense. 2nd and 5, McManus has Flutie, and he's now even with Don Narcisse with career catches. Tied for 2nd spots behind Alan Pitts all time.
Darren Flutie uses motion nicely here. He's going to come out to the right. Now see him go in motion there to the left of your screen to the 30, the number 30. That got Kelly Malvo in a bad angle. Kelly Malvo had to fight through a pick to try and get to Flutie. That's Flutie using his veteran savvy and using motion in Canadian Football League to get himself a little space.
919 career catches for Darren Flutie. Another couple of yards for Troy Davis. He ran into Steve Anderson.
Now this is the area of the field that over the years, whether they've been Ticats or BC Lions or wherever they've been, Danny McManus and Darren Flutie have gone. That's been the combination down here.
It was the combination in BC for a while.
Yeah.
Led to a Grey Cup. The combination in Edmonton with Lancaster and the Eskimos.
Well, absolutely. When you remember that game in Calgary in the snow. Danny McManus finding Darren Flutie. And this is why he goes to Flutie, because see, Flutie comes in motion out to that. Here he is right here. Right now, number 3, Kelly Malvo, he can't get through all the motion in the linebacking court. So Flutie knows if he just slides out into that open area, turns around, he's going to have enough time to create some space for himself. Kelly Malvo, in order to get closer to Flutie now, has to come up closer to that line of scrimmage. And when you do that as a defensive back, the receiver, in one little shake, tries to go by you.
919 career catches for Don Narcisse and for Darren Flutie. Alan Pitts is the leader, and Flutie has a shot at catching Pitts this season in 2 categories, number of catches and number of yards. Wendy's CFL Live tomorrow night. Argos, Eskimos. Edmonton unbeaten. The Argos got an interesting win the other night.
I've seen you wear that helmet. Looks good on you. TSN helmet with the big full cage.
Well, you like it with the full cage?
Well, you know, we can get that because this has been a hard-hitting game, and I know when it starts to get hard-hitting, you put the helmet on.
Only in the second half. Pascal Charon off to the sidelines. Samir Shaheen will come in for him, and Shaheen is a little bit nicked. He started last week and was unable to begin tonight, so that's how Donnelly got the job on the other side.
He's got a sore foot, Samir Shaheen.
8th play of the drive. 2nd and 5 Ticats. Stampeder 15. McManus looks to the end zone. Miracle. Wonderful catch. Did you see how quick Andrew Gregg's hands went up and grabbed that one? First touchdown toss of the season for Danny McManus. I told you he was a little peeved.
Well, this will make him feel a whole lot better. It was perfect timing in a couple of ways. One, the ball went out there when it had to, so that when Andrew Gregg came out of his break, it was on its way. And 2, the sun had dropped far enough behind the horizon that it wasn't a factor for Gregg.
And do you think they might have calculated the fact that the sun has fallen behind the scoreboard in that corner? They might have had a peek at it. If no one else did, Ron Lancaster certainly had a look from the sidelines. Osbaldiston adds one more. And the Ticats are in the lead at 13-10.
All starts with good time. You see big Gary Brown there working on Jeff Travesey. He gives time to Danny McManus so he could throw that one with the throwing lane, a chance to go. Watch it. Watch the cross here. Darren Flutie out here, boom, and to the corner for Andrew Gregg. The 2 working in combination to open up Andrew Gregg right in the corner on the turn, and Deshaun Austin can't close the ground.
Andrew Gregg coming up with a touchdown from 16 yards out. That might make up for the one that was called back when he almost made it to the end zone. For 95 yards coming in, has his first touchdown, and the Ticats' first receiving touchdown of 2002. This is the newcomer for Calgary. Adams bobbled it, but he's on his way. Raymond Adams ran into Jared Smith, number 34, after a 22-yard return. And we talked about McManus getting a little ticked off and putting things together for a 8-play drive covering 81 yards.
16-yard catch for Gregg, and the key play, and probably the prettiest, was Troy Davis. And little rub there for Darren Flutie, a little 2-man game. Darren Flutie and Andrew Gregg, and it was set up because of a couple plays earlier when, remember, we showed you Darren Flutie catching that ball over by the sideline. That sets up this play.
Into the final 3 minutes, Stampeders trailing for the first time. Kelvin Anderson, there was nowhere to go.
Yeah, that play didn't look good from the beginning. On a toss play, Kelvin Anderson usually will take off either to the left or to the right to get to the outside.
Marcus Spencer, another XFL refugee, makes a big part of the play work here.
See, it didn't look like Kelvin Anderson really knew which side to go or whether or not that was going to be a handoff or a pitch, and Marcus Crandall kind of turned around and just tossed it to him.
Loss of 1, second and 11. Crandall in trouble again, and he one-hopped that one. It was Marcus Spencer covering again, so another 2 and out for the Stampeders. That's 3 times in a row.
John, it doesn't take long to start to get a reputation in the Canadian Football League. They watch the films too. Watch the attention Tim Cheatwood is going to get trying to rush the passer. The double team there, Scott Dybert helping out on Jamie Crysdale. And the coverage downfield also solid for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Travis Moore trying to find some open area. They tried to find him, but too little, too late.
O'Mahony back at his 12. Punting again. Ticats have all kinds of time here and will get decent field position even without a return. Nearly blocked, or at least there was pressure on O'Mahony. This is Mace Freeman, little spin, and he's to the 51 and dropped there. 33-yard punt, make it a 38-yard punt and an 8-yard return. All set to fire up at the half. Randorf, Dunnigan, Schultz, and the rookie.
The Rook. He hasn't sung yet, has he?
No, he hasn't had to sing.
That was almost blocked there. Dwayne Butler coming in, and Duncan O'Mahony is not lined up as deep as most punters do. They're usually at 15 yards, and he's at about 12 and a half. And every inch when it comes to getting after a punt is important.
So with 2:17 to go, McManus has a hot hand right now. Good place to begin. And his favorite target, Darren Flutie, who is now second all-time in career receptions in the CFL with 920, passing Don Narcisse.
You see the smile from Danny McManus. You almost know McManus also had those numbers in the back of his mind. Darren Flutie takes over second spot.
And Alan Pitts in his sights. Davis has run very well for the Tiger Cats tonight. This is another great run. Can he take it all the way? Not quite. He's down to about the 6-yard line.
Ticat offense starting to roll.
Great cut.
Troy Davis gets a nice block from Darren Flutie, and Flutie didn't even have to hit anybody. Watch Flutie just kind of disappear over here. Hey, Kelly Malville, you got to cover me. Look, I'm open, I'm open. That pulled Kelly Malville away from Troy Davis just enough so he couldn't get back in to tackle him. Look at Malville, number 3. Comes all the way out, he's got his back to Troy Davis, turns around, goes, he got by me.
42 yards for Davis and 126 on the evening. McManus, good fake, touchdown toss, it's a beauty. Flutie has his first of the year. McManus back-to-back touchdown tosses.
In a feature we did early in the year, Dan McManus said, I sort of get a feeling when Darren Flutie's going to have a big game. Think he's getting that feeling?
I think so. I think Danny Mac had to get a little angry, though. 2 series ago, he was a little steamed at what was going on, whether he was angry at himself or his offense or just the general proceedings, because he wasn't having a good night until these last 2 drives, or at least not a particularly good night.
Well, Darren Flutie just won't quit on the play, and against, he's working on Kelly Malville. But first of all, Danny McManus has trouble with the snap. He has to hesitate. Now he gets outside, and he's working with Flutie. Flutie made a little move on Kelly Malville, froze him, and then slid in behind. And just prior to that, earlier in the drive, this is the catch that put Darren Flutie past Don Narcisse in second spot.
Number 920 there, and here is number 921 for Darren Flutie.
See, Kelly Malville was caught, and he had to go now all the way across the field. Kelly Malville couldn't find Darren Flutie. Danny McManus did. And that's likely why Danny McManus hesitated getting that ball out, because I think he saw Darren Flutie open, tried to get it out of there in a hurry to throw it hot to him. He juggled it for a second, and Flutie kept working to find an open spot.
Bit of a bootleg for McManus on the play as he headed around the left side. And then spotted Flutie. Raymond Adams. This would be something special if he turned in a great one here, and he's already done that. Still standing across the 45 and brought down at the 40. Mace Freeman making the tackle on special teams. And this is Raymond Adams, 300 all-purpose yards coming into this one.
Well, Raymond Adams had a pretty good preseason game versus the BC Lions. Then versus the Edmonton Eskimos, he had a 60-yard return. So they think this guy's going to be special. He also can run the ball to the backfield should something happen to Kelvin Anderson.
A minute 18 to go till halftime. A 58-yard return sets the Stampeders up at the 40. The Ticat defense has done a terrific job in the last 3 sequences for Calgary, all 2 and outs.
Marcus Crandall has to make something happen here, though.
In trouble again and down.
That pocket just collapsed. That pocket disintegrated around Marcus Crandall, and I say he's got to make something happen. You get a nice return like that. Watch how this pocket just gets pushed back this way. Starts to collapse around him. Now he's got to try and find a little lane to get out of there, and he can't. Larry Fitzpatrick closes it in a hurry, and Cheatwood's right around the scene again, pushing big Fred Childress back into the lap of Crandall.
That's a loss of 5. This is 2nd and 15. And that'll be good. Rob Johnson has his first reception of the night.
Well, he's well short, obviously. He's, a matter of fact, about 5 yards short, and 3rd down. And I thought for a minute Wally Buono was thinking about gambling.
Well, it's 3rd and a whole bunch here. 3rd and almost 5, at least 4 yards.
Well, you know, he right after the catch, he knew he was short. He knew he was well short. But he looked at the offense, he looked at Crandall, he looked at the clock like he's doing now, and he considered a gamble. But I think he's made the right move here. Kick the field goal, get the points, heading in at halftime. Now you're a touchdown away.
Down by 7, the Stampeders would be. If O'Malley makes this, spotted on the 40, or McLaughlin makes this, spotted on the 40. He doesn't. Had one earlier, Ticats get the chance to run it out. Mace Freeman. And 17 seconds.
Don Blair dropped the football in the hold. The time from the ball is snapped to the ball is kicked has got to be around 1.3 seconds. 1.2 perfect, 1.4 too long. And that's how precise it is. Blair dropped the ball in the hold, and that's why the kick went wide right.
So McLaughlin coming in. Good on 1 of 3 and a couple of touchdown drives from the Ticats. McManus got it together with these 2 drives.
Nice little 2-man game. Andrew Grigg. That's the first touchdown pass of the season for Danny McManus. And here's the second.
Here's number 2.
Catching Kelly Malville, trying to figure out where his man was.
14 seconds left.
Danny Max looks like he's back on track, and one of the reasons is Darren Flutie's back involved.
Who writes your stuff? Does everything have to rhyme?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Actually, that was an accident. But for the Calgary Stampeders now, again, 2 concerns, big concern. Giving up too many yards on the ground again to Troy Davis. He's got to get his defensive line a little more disciplined, Wally Buono. And again, that secondary has got to lock down Darren Flutie. One thing is, they're hitting.
And it started very early in this evening in Hamilton. Stampeders are down by 10. No shortage of effort from either side, however. Heads up. There's a half of football to go from either win. Well, Glenn, that's much more like it for the Hamilton Tiger Cats on their last two drives, and much of the same story for the Calgary Stampeders here in the first half.
Yeah, when you are the Calgary Stampeders, I think what you're saying is, let's start with the fundamentals. Let's stop the run on first down, and let's see what happens from there.
He won't smile for a while because it's only a 10-point lead.
No, he won't smile until about November 28th, and he'll only smile then if he's got another ring on his finger.
From the Grey Cup in Edmonton.
Yeah.
Looked a little bleak for the Tiger Cats to start things off with. A fumble led to a touchdown as the Stampeders took the early lead. Good return for Ramon Adams as we bring in David Amber.
Coach, first of all, how's the team's confidence right now?
Well, obviously, you know, they're a little bit upset, and they should be by what happened. The first half, like I said, we didn't stay on the field on offense, and when you give McManus the opportunities, he's going to hurt you.
Coach, you have a lot of new players. Is it new players or is it lack of execution?
Well, I think it's lack of execution. Hamilton has a lot of new players, too. So from that point of view, I don't think that's a good excuse.
Well, 10 points is a makeable deficit to come back from. Good luck to you.
Well, thank you very much.
Stampeders 2 and out on the last 4 possessions. They have to get things going here. They begin with pretty good field position out across the 40.
You know, look at that.
Ramon Adams stuffed.
That front four. Hamilton really making a statement, but going back to the Calgary story and just what Wally Buono said there at halftime about execution. And we've talked a lot about the young players and the changes that Calgary's had to make, but you know, this is week 3 now. And what Wally Buono likely did at halftime was to simplify things. Maybe cut the playbook right down in half, both offensively and defensively. Go back to the fundamentals and execute.
3 receivers to the far side on 2nd and 8 for Crandall. Looks for the home run toss. Travis Moore was the target. He ended up on the turf. No flags anywhere.
Well, there wasn't, and you know, you wonder if maybe Troy Saunders was grabbing Travis Moore, but I'll tell you what the officials decided, and I think it's a good decision. That ball was not catchable. It was overthrown to Travis Moore, and no penalty because of that. Ball goes up. Saunders will grab a little bit at the end. I think Travis Moore tripped himself more than anything. Rob Hitchcock trying to get around and have some... You've got to get out of my way. And that's the back judge back there. I always used to talk to him, just trying to get him on our good side.
Yeah, no, I can imagine what you'd say. I can imagine you back there.
Well,
nice job tonight. Nice evening.
Isn't it a beautiful evening?
Yeah.
How's the wife and kids?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Procedure, Calgary 85. Repeat, 3rd down.
You know, and so far the officials done a nice job tonight. They really have, and not many penalties in the first half, and the teams are playing well and disciplined, but nice job by the officials because that was a good no call.
Point well made. O'Mahony back at his 25. Bouncing for Fisher. Takes it on the 3rd hop. Trying to turn the corner. And a gain of maybe 2. Well, make it 4 on the return. Wendy's Friday Night Football will be at Taylor Field in Saskatchewan with the Eskimos in town. Riders at 2-1. It might have been 3-0. However, the Eskimos are rolling along, and they have the Argonauts tomorrow night.
Saskatchewan is for real. And Edmonton best not look past them.
Funny what a quarterback can do in the scheme of things, isn't it?
Yeah.
Elon Green has played very well.
Throwing and running.
Davis caught from behind. Steve Anderson was there.
Well, Kelvin Anderson's been running hard, but he hasn't had the holes that Troy Davis has had. 126 yards for Davis against the defense that I mentioned at halftime. Coming into this game, gave up 203 yards per week for the first 2 weeks. Troy Davis taking advantage of that.
That's along the ground, and there was also 556 passing yards given up in the first 2 games by the Stampeders. McManus has engineered back-to-back touchdown drives.
Oh, he's going to get a penalty. That's Elijah Johnson coming off the edge. Danny McManus, the reason he's going to get the call is because he went up to his head. Because I don't think the timing was off by that much. Elijah Johnson says I went to tackle him and he kind of ducked, and that's why I got his head.
Major foul. Roughing the passer. Calgary 51. First down.
Elijah Johnson right here. He's going to come around the corner. He's coming right off the edge, and he goes right up high in the back of the head. You see that left arm. Ear hole Danny McManus. That was the call. Roughing the passer.
Because, as you say, he wasn't all that late in getting
No, the timing was pretty good.
Was pretty good. From the 43, McManus. And Greg had it, turned around, and left it right on the turf.
We've all done it, haven't we? You're getting ready for the big holiday. You pack the car, the kids are in the car, you drive away, and you've left the suitcase.
Or the tickets.
Or the tickets. Right on the front porch. And this is exactly what happened to Andrew Gregg. He got the car packed, the kids are in the car, and he said, wait a minute, we're at the airport. Did you bring the tickets? He didn't bring the football with him.
Exactly that. Made a nice catch in the first half. It was called back, then caught the touchdown. McManus on 2nd and 10. Amerson will get the first down. There are flags in 2 areas of the field.
Flags right around the offensive and defensive line. There's a flag in the secondary of the Calgary Stampeders. By the look of Archie Amerson, it's against Hamilton.
Forward pass interference. Hamilton number 9. Repeat second down.
So he pushed off.
A little push off when he turned around for that curl. And the reason there was 2 flags is because 2 officials saw the same thing.
So the Ticats look at 2nd and 20. Back at the 33. McManus won't get it away.
Steve Anderson, and we talked about Steve Anderson and being a veteran and a guy who's from 96 to 99 played in this system. It'll take him a couple of snaps. It took him a first half. But here's Steve Anderson, and what's good about this for Calgary is they're only going to rush 4 at the end of it. Steve Anderson being one of the 4s. Elijah Johnson's going to drop out of there. It's 4 on 5. And if Steve Anderson can get there at 4 on 5, now things are starting to click a little bit defensively for the Stampeders.
Osbaldiston, his best punt of the night. Adams returning. Ramon Adams and a shoestring tackle by Verbeek. Makes it only a 9-yard return. McManus down. It'll be 1st and 10. Stampeders when we return.
A veteran in that defensive line, and he got Steve Anderson out of Edmonton. I'll show you Steve Anderson, the veteran move here. There's Gary Brown. He's working one-on-one. Watch how Steve Anderson goes up high with the hands in the face and then brings the arms down of Gary Brown. And that gets his momentum going forward, and that gets him past to McManus.
Stampeders 2 and out in the last 5 possessions. Crandall stands in. He'll get a first down here on a nice move after the catch. Still standing, Kamal Peterson.
Kamal Peterson had first down yardage twice, I think, and at the end of it, maybe about half a yard short.
See where they spot the ball, but you're definitely right. Spun away and then turned around and came back to try and get extra yardage.
See, right there he has it. Then he cuts back a little bit. Now he has it again, and then he stops and comes back a little bit. ends up a football length short.
Second down, inches to go. Stampeders in midfield. That will be a first down.
You know, some other fans may think that's kind of like a boring play, but you gotta love when you get the big guys just pounding away. Kamal Peterson did a nice job of getting open. See how he saw the linebacker, so he just put the brakes on and not slid over didn't slide over there with Warren Muzica. But then he lost a yard and came back. They got it anyway, so not going to catch too much flack about that.
Fifth or sixth receiver for the Stampeders last year. This year he's a starter with Bo Richter and Danielson gone. Kelvin Anderson has a first down. Extra effort from Kelvin Anderson.
Interesting series of plays here for Marcus Crandall. He's going to run an option play, and the option guy is going to be Travis Moore. Travis Moore, so he goes in motion, and he ends up going in behind Marcus Crandall. Now, the next progression in that play is to fake the ball to Kelvin Anderson in the middle, who got pretty nice yardage there, and then run the option with Crandall and Travis Moore to the outside.
Back-to-back first downs for the Stampeders. First time they've converted since the first quarter. Nice play-action fake by Crandall, and the target was Rob Johnson.
But again, you can't emphasize enough the discipline from the Hamilton Tiger Cat defense as Troy Saunders is working with Travis Moore there, driving him down inside, gets in that hip pocket, and in order for Marcus Crandall to complete the pass to Travis Moore, after this fake, he's got to throw it through Troy Saunders. So he elects to go underneath to Rob Johnson.
Second and 10 Calgary. A little noise at Ivor Wynn all of a sudden.
Here they come.
Charges on. Nice block. Crandall got it away. That's for the touchdown. Travis Moore, 43 yards in the major. First one on offense for the Stampeders tonight. In behind Troy Saunders.
When the safety leaves the middle, Rob Hitchcock came up to the line. When the safety leaves the middle, look at this. No one back there. Rob Hitchcock is over here to the right of your screen. He's up there. Now, Regenball comes out. No safety in the middle. Big hole. Travis Moore, you go right to that hole, and I'll throw you the football.
So the momentum shifts a little bit as Crandall connects to Travis Moore. His first touchdown catch this season.
Well, you know what happened? It starts out with a defensive stand, a good play from Steve Anderson. And that gives your offense a little bit of confidence. They come on the field, drive it down, and score one.
Couple of first downs on the drive, and this was pretty to watch. Marcus Crandall to Travis Moore.
See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.
They've done it before. It's a three-point game.
And that's why Travis Moore went to the middle. Rob Hitchcock is designed to come on a blitz.
48th career touchdown for Travis Moore.
Unless a back comes out of the backfield. Rob Hitchcock did his job, but the blitz was called off at the last second.
3 deep for the Tiger Cats for this return. This is Mace Freeman. He's run well tonight. And again there, out near the 40. 27 yards on the return.
Travis Moore knows how to recognize safety blitz, and that's why he went to the middle. And what happened to Rob Hitchcock is he came up to the line of scrimmage. I'm going to show you as this play develops. Now, there's no safety in the middle. No one up here. So Regenball comes out. Now, hold it right there, guys. There's Rob Hitchcock. He's supposed to come on the blitz, but he doesn't come because Scott Regenball goes out into the pattern, into the flat. So that calls off the blitz for Rob Hitchcock, and now the middle is wide open, and Marcus Crandall has time to throw the football. Travis Moore has time to go to the hole.
And Saunders is the lone Ticat back. McManus handed off to Davis, and the Stampeders are fired up.
That's the newcomer in there, James Burgess. And they love his quickness to the football. They know that Burgess has a lot to learn as far as the Canadian Football League goes. And usually what happens with young guys is that they're just impatient, especially linebackers. They see the ball coming towards them, and they fly into the hole, and then it's cut back, and they're not patient enough, and they're in the wrong position. Wally Bono likes his athletic ability. He's just got to learn, get that learning curve.
Well, he believes he is a playmaker. That's one of the talents he brings along with his quickness. McManus pumps once, far side. Darren Flutie has another one. And he'll move the chains. Deshaun Austin had a difficult time with Flutie there.
Yeah, and Deshaun Austin has had a difficult night with Darren Flutie a couple of occasions, and sometimes it's been just by alignment. The Hamilton Tiger Cats and Ron Lancaster Jr. are giving this Calgary defense a bunch of different looks, a bunch of different formations.
From the 53, first down, Tiger Cats. McManus near side. Troy Davis took a hit before going down.
Here's another example of a different look coming from the Hamilton Tiger Cats offensively. They wanted to run sort of a bunch formation to one side of the field. They see there's 3 receivers over there and then 2 over here. So another change up for Danny McManus. He's got that bunch. See the bunch all together? That opens up Davis in the flat underneath. Will pick up some good yardage. Ron Lancaster Jr. starting to pull up the stops. That's him over there on the left.
Wearing the hat. Gain is 4, 2nd and 6. McManus over the middle. Oh, huge hit on Amerson. Delivered by Willie Fells.
How about that? Archie Amerson gets up and singles first down. Oh, baby. That's a great all-around football play.
Fells is an ex-Tiger Cat.
39 on a mission. Bam! And how does he hang on to this? Highlight reel stuff, folks.
Seen some good ones tonight. That's the loudest. Here's Davis. He's near the 40-yard line. Should have about 5 yards.
Oh, come on now. Can we roll that one more? You know, you got to see that hit one more time. And...
You could
Bell's
close
excited.
your eyes and know what happened there.
Then he turns around, and what he sees is Archie Amerson standing up there like an official going, yeah, nice hit, but hey, buddy, first down. Oh, you love this game, don't you?
You have to.
Oh,
Willie Fells scored a touchdown in the Grey Cup game last year. Won by the Stampeders. The quick release there again. Coverage too tight on Darren Flutie.
And Jason Bray hustles out there, making a substitution now, bringing in the extra defensive back. And you see Jason Bray, the rookie out of Auburn, flies over there, and he hits Darren Flutie. If Darren Flutie catches that one cleanly the first time, he has a chance. But juggled it a little bit, and Bray makes the play. I don't know, I'm still breathing hard after the Willie Fells hit. Trying to catch my breath over here. I'll be all right.
You're going to be fine?
I'll be okay.
Well, take a break if you want.
You can carry it from here for a second.
Whoa. Walk it on. Osbaldiston aims it for the corner. See where they spotted. It might have been a little deeper than he wanted. It's a single point. Looking for the corner, and he put it into the end zone. No return. And 1 to the Tiger Cats total on Wendy's Friday Night Football. 4:03 to go, third quarter. And that's the score. Kelvin Anderson of the Stampeders trying to get back. And now here's Kelvin with his bobblehead doll. That's Kelvin Jr., I guess.
Yeah, little Kelvin. But you know, when you see his head shaking back and forth, when Kelvin Anderson hits the hole, his head is doing that, right? And that's why, as a defensive player, you can't look at the head, not even the bobblehead. Because it's shaking like that. If you look at the head, he's going to make you miss. Got to look at the waist.
Thursday, McMahon Stadium, Montreal in town, is Kelvin Anderson bobblehead night.
That's pretty cool stuff. Kids who want to get there early get one of those, because that's cool stuff.
So be there for that. To see if the Stampeders can come back against the Ticats here tonight. They played a lot better in the second half, and so is Calvin Anderson turning the corner there.
He hit that truck hard. There's not much sideline at Ivory Wind Stadium. Good thing that Calvin Anderson got up after that one. He was very close. Bunch formation, whole bunch of people on the line of scrimmage for the Calgary Stampeders. Calvin Anderson sees the hole to the outside, and then he gets awful close to the truck and the sideline down there, our camera. Got it all padded up for him. It's sort of nice. We put all that pads on there just for that reason, that there's not much room. That one went under the camera.
Anderson picked up 7. This is 2nd and 3. Wide open far side, good for the first down. And lots of room to run for Scott Reginbald, still on his feet. Inside the 20-yard line.
There's a time to go for a knockout blow, and there's a time to try and just make the tackle. Scott Reginbald does a nice job, first of all, to leapfrog the first tackler. This is coming up right here. There's the first move. And then Rob Hitchcock wants a knockout shot. So he lowers the shoulder and he wants to knock him out. But when you do that, you don't use your arms to tackle and wrap up. Here comes Rob Hitchcock. Watch this. Here he comes. Wants a big one. And just bounces off him.
44 yards for Scott Reginbald. The first time he's touched the football tonight. Stampeders are set up at the 25. Time for Crandall looking to the end zone. Too many cats down there. Grabbed there by Diedrich Mathis.
Don't think his feet were in bounds on the interception. Diedrich Mathis was playing the zone defense from the corner position and dropped back into the deep third, which is a third of the field, anything deep. He's going to drop back out of there. You see his move to the middle. Now he's dropped back right down the numbers. Ball's in the air. He flies to the football. Now, was he in bounds?
No, no, no.
Just need one foot, and I think the left foot was about halfway on that strike. Yes, it was. The heel was out of bounds.
2nd and 10. From the 24. Crandall looking again. And the coverage from Hitchcock.
Hitchcock played that perfectly, and I'll tell you why. Travis Moore is slow to get up afterwards, because you have to have a lot of experience and a ton of confidence from the safety position to jump up on Travis Moore like he did. He had a post in behind him. Travis Moore was the crosser. And I believe Rob Hitchcock went for the football here over top of him. See, he's going to have a post deep in behind him and then the crosser underneath. Here comes the crosser to Travis Moore. The post is going to show up. He goes for the football over top. He ends up catching the helmet of Travis Moore and bending it back. Travis Moore, the inside receiver right here, is going to run the down in that over pattern. Now in behind him was Rob Johnson. See, here comes Travis Moore. Now as Moore comes across, Rob Hitchcock goes to play the football, and in behind him was Rob Johnson. So Hitchcock has to have a lot of confidence in his ability to make the right read and the right decision there. And I don't think it was intentional. He pulled Travis Moore back like he did.
No penalty, went for the football, ended up grabbing Travis Moore by the helmet.
Talk about knockout shots. Rob Hitchcock tried one earlier in this game and didn't make it, but last week, he did. That's the knockout shot you're looking for. Pow!
Couple of interceptions already for Hitchcock. Games 1 and 2 for the Tiger Cats this season.
They just want to check out Travis Moore's neck and back and take every precaution. Now the good news is he's sitting up. Because if there was more concern, they'd have the stretcher out there and not move Travis Moore at all. You know, and again, I really don't think this was an intentional attempt to injure from Rob Hitchcock. He went to catch the football and ended up literally catching the helmet of Travis Moore.
Not the face mask at all, as you can see from a couple of these angles.
But Moore's head, you can see how it was almost like whiplash. It snapped back like it did. You know, and I can tell you from experience, and I think any guy in the panel there can, is that both players have equal concern in this situation.
Pat Clayton ushering Travis Moore off the field. Pat in his 18th season with the Stampeders. David?
And I just had a chance to speak to Rob Hitchcock, and Rob said his gloves, they were a little sticky. They got stuck to his shoulder and helmet, and they were looking at Travis Moore's shoulder. Said his fingers didn't get stuck inside the helmet, though. Obviously, it was an accident.
Yeah, no question.
Stampeders with a chance to tie it. 30-yard try from Mark McLaughlin. And we're within a point here. Actually, it's 21-20 now.
You know, and Rob Hitchcock is one of the most physical free safeties in the game. But I can guarantee you, and knowing him as well as I do, is that he saw Travis Moore lying there. He certainly was as concerned as the Calgary Stampeders. And in a game that is so violent, you may wonder about that. But no one likes to see someone go down, especially when you're talking about the neck and the back areas. And so David Amber also mentioned the shoulder. And both players concerned, and the best thing that can happen is what happened. That's for Travis Moore to take his time, get checked out, and then come up and run on his own to the sideline.
Ticats from the 35, first down. McManus shovel pass. Amerson lost the ball. Stampeders still have it. Melvin Bradley stole the football, and following that, Jason Bray.
I don't think Archie Amerson ever really got a handle on this. It's the shovel pass from Danny McManus as he moves to his right, trying to get the ball to Amerson. Archie Amerson, watch him. He's going to come like this and then go underneath. I'm sorry, I got it. He had a good view of it. This is Archie Amerson right here. He comes underneath. Here comes Archie. Now, I don't think he had a handle. He was trying to get the ball.
Oh, he had the ball.
It snuck out over his shoulder, and that's where Melvin Bradley picked it up.
Amerson had it for a split second, or at least had his hands on it. It doesn't touch the ground. He goes right to the rookie Bradley.
Never really locked up both points of the ball.
Second turnover by the Ticats. First was costly. 7 points on the first turnover. That was the fumble early in the game by Steve Fisher.
Watch how this ball, now the idea is to get both points of the ball covered up. Hold it right there, guys. Right here. See that point obviously exposed, that point exposed. If you get both points of the ball exposed, it's going to come out of there. And that's what happens. Bradley picks it up off the shoulder of Archie Amerson. One point has to be underneath your armpit. The other point of the ball has to be covered up by your hand.
Good news, Travis Moore is back in the ball game. It's the 2nd and 10 Stampeders. Nice play action fake by Crandall. Couldn't get it away. Aaron McField.
That is very good news, because I watched Travis Moore the entire play. He was on a deep pattern. Marcus Crandall couldn't see him, didn't see him down the field. But it looks like he has come back completely from the hit from Rob Hitchcock. This was Travis Moore in the last play, and that's good speed. Travis Moore right down the seam, had inside position. Marcus Crandall didn't find him.
Ticats have a 1-point lead. Mark McLaughlin's 4th field goal try of the night. Spotted at the 28. Hammered through by Mark McLaughlin. So the Tiger Cats have the lead for the first time since late in the first quarter. And that is the end of quarter number 3. We've got a great one going tonight at Iverwin Hamilton.
Welcome back to the CFL Live studios. First of all, it's great news to see Travis Moore back out on the playing field. However, Schultz, you had a different view of that play on the hit by Hitchcock.
I really did. Now, I'm not saying this was an intent to injure play at all, but I tell you, if I was the referee, I would have called it as a penalty. Because when you watch Rob Hitchcock here, he doesn't separate his hands from the upper body head delivery, that's the blow delivery on Travis Moore. So I look at it completely different. I think he should have been penalized. But once again, Hitchcock doesn't play football like that. The other issue that is really important, How many points now has Hamilton given up because of turnovers? 10. That's an issue. Fourth quarter, wide open.
Well, I want to talk about Travis Moore before he got hurt and the great job he did on this touchdown. Now, as a receiver, we loved it when a defense would try and pressure you and take the safety out of the middle. However, if you can't get one extra guy free through to the quarterback, you're in trouble. And that's what happens. Crandall has time to deliver a strike to Travis Moore. Now, when there's no one in the middle, it means that every defensive back on the field has to defend against both inside cuts and outside cuts. Saunders could do himself a big favor here by taking away the inside. Because let me tell you, as a receiver and a quarterback, nothing is easier to complete in this game than the post pattern. Make the guy throw the corner, make him throw the out, but do not let him coast in on the post.
Chuck, the reason why they're in those situations is because Calgary's defense is stepping up and shutting down Hamilton's offense, giving their own offense an opportunity. Here we see the defense stepping up. Watch this man right here, Steve Anderson, and this man right here, Willie Harvey, put pressure on Danny McManus. They brought this man in to do exactly that. Stay in your lanes, be smart. Right there, you see Harvey collapse the pocket. Danny Mac wants to step up, and then you see Steve Anderson hustling around the corner, beating his men, setting up a punting situation for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Calgary, if they're going to win this football game, has got to keep team pressure on like that, Dave, and they did a super job of that in the third quarter.
Well, the Calgary Stampeders haven't won in Hamilton since October of '98. Looking to change that tonight. Back to the fourth quarter. Here's John and Glenn.
Back-to-back field goals for the Stampeders, and that means Calgary has the lead at 23-21. They have the lead, and they have their star receiver back in the lineup, and that's maybe the best news. Out of bounds on the kickoff, and we look at the third quarter numbers. Ticats with an advantage of time of possession. Well, the turnovers are a story, but also 26 yards rushing was the total for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. After another quarter, it's just 132, so the running game has started to disappear a bit for Danny McManus. 10 points off turnovers, and that's a big part of the story. It's what the Ticats gave up last week in Winnipeg and lost by 9. We got a lot of football to play in this one. Danny McManus engineered 2 second-quarter touchdown drives to Greg and to Flutie. He keeps it on the ground this time. Troy Davis out near the 50. You maybe, Ron Lancaster Jr., offensive coordinator, looked at those stats of the third quarter and probably had the same idea. Go back to Troy Davis and at least on first down, try and get yourself in second and medium, and then those little rub patterns to Darren Flutie work better. RD on the left-hand side of your screen, and he likely looked at that 6 yards rushing in the third quarter and said, yeah, we better go back to that running game. 2nd and 5, low snap. McManus couldn't find a target. Looking for Tony Akins, playing his first game of 2002. So it's 2 and out for the Tiger Cats. That's a difficult situation for a quarterback, and it's really any quarterback, no matter what year you are in the league. And of course Danny McManus in his 13th season, but that pocket collapsed around him. There were bodies flying everywhere, and only one receiver and he was partially covered, so not a whole lot Danny McManus could do in that situation. Travis Moore is in on special teams as well. He won't get a return here. 1st and 10 Stampeders when we return. It's Wendy's Friday Night Football from Hamilton.
Damon.
Franchise story followed by the Riders in Friday Night Football at home to the Eskimos. That's Travis Moore sliding out of the backfield. Ticats thought they'd come up with a loose ball. No, that's team defense, though. That's team defense from Hamilton, just getting as many hats to the football as you can. Watch how they flow to this football to Travis Moore. Everyone flying over to that side. Here they come. There's 4, 5, 6 of them right there. Black jerseys, and you barely even see Travis Moore under all of it. Apparently he's okay. He's running the football on special teams as well. So obviously Travis Moore
is back to 100%. 4 receivers far side, 2nd and 12. Here's Crandall. Took the extra step and a huge hit. Peterson had the feet sliced right out from under him. Stephen Fisher.
You know, it's early in the season, but I think I might go out on a limb and say this may be the hardest hitting game that we've seen all year, because they are not fooling around out there tonight. That's the danger zone. Come across in the middle after it's taken that long. You know the defensive backs are closing fast. Pretty nice hit from the newcomer, Stephen Fisher. Remember, dropped one early on a punt.
And it led to a Calgary touchdown. And the early lead for the Stampeders. O'Mani standing back near his 5-yard line. Mace Freeman surrounded at the 50. Talk about hits, you want hits. They keep on happening here tonight.
Wendy's Friday Night Football hit parade. My favorite.
Whoa. And we ran out of time to show you the last one. That was Stephen Fisher's.
Tell you what, it's a violent game, folks.
Fisher and Camus. Peterson a few moments ago. Ticats. 5 receivers set on first down. McManus drops a little deeper. It's batted down.
Dave Hack kind of turned around saying, did you just hit me in the back of the head, or were we on the right page there? And Danny McManus, I'm not so sure that didn't hit Dave Hack.
McManus had a pretty good second quarter, and all of a sudden, second half, it's turned around in favor of Calgary with field goals and touchdowns.
Well, Matt Dunnigan mentioned it in between quarters there, and that's the bottom line. That Calgary defense has started, they're starting to figure it out. Starting to get it up front, and they got Danny Mack in 2nd and long again.
From the 50. McManus looking for Gregg, and he was forced out of bounds coming back onto the field of play. There's a flag down at the 35.
Yeah, Deshaun Austin may have taken an extra couple of steps. Look at a nice look at it as Austin pushes him now. Now let go of him now. See, let go of him now. You can't hold him way out of bounds because Andrew Gregg under the rules.
Contact on the receiver, Calgary 33, first down.
Under the rules, Andrew Gregg is allowed, if he's pushed out, to come back in the field to play and catch the football.
I don't think I've seen many guys forced out that far.
But you
that was about 4 yards.
No, you can't push him out and hold him out. You can push him, he goes out of bounds, and then pick him up when he comes back inbounds.
Push him out and wait for him, you mean?
That's right.
Yeah. First down, Tiger Cats. McManus sprinting to his left. Close to the first down. Darren Flutie made the catch near the 40. We'll see where they spot the ball.
I had a nice conversation with defensive coordinator Mike Roach of the Calgary Stampeders, who is standing up right in front of your screen there, and he was talking about his young front seven. Not a lot of playing experience. He likes them athletically, but he really believes that Steve Anderson and Tyrone Rogers can help, but now they just need to play together for a few downs.
First time 3 players on the Stampeder front 4 have been together on the same field as tonight. On 2nd and 1, it's an easy first down for Troy Davis.
Just think of that, though, John. I mean, it's not 1 or 2. 5 of the 7.
And 3 of the front 4. First game together tonight.
You know, there's going to be growing pains. You know, now that's the difference between this year and last year. Is you look at the records, they're comparable, but the difference is 6 new starters on defense, 4 on offense. And that happens. That's the game. It's free agency, it's retirements, it's whatever.
And 15 new faces on this Calgary team. 15 new bodies overall. McManus on first down. Trevor Shaw has his 2nd of the night.
See that umpire that stands right in there, and his job, see this umpire right here, his job is to look at the defensive line and the offensive line, see if there's any holding or anything, but he's also right in the firing range. See, he's like, okay, do I bob left, bob right? That could have been an umpire sandwich.
I don't think he'd used that one before. 2nd and 5.
Willie Fells.
Not quite a connection there.
Willie Fells got over. Nice drop by, nice drop by Willie Fells, John. He just dropped over and he
there
said,
you go. He tipped it by that much.
Yeah, or I was that close to an interception and going the other way. Willie Fells was the donor of the big hit on Archie Amerson early.
Paul Osbaldiston looks to give the Tiger Cats the lead. Andrew Drigg will spot it just inside the 40. Call it 39. Osbaldiston nails another one. He's 2nd all-time on the CFL scoring list behind Louis Bisaglia. 3rd all-time is Mark McLaughlin, his opponent tonight. Belongs to the Tiger Cats, but only by 1.
That bunch formation from Calgary again.
Calvin Anderson should have been stopped before he gained 3 yards. Somehow found a way under the pile.
2 schools of thought with this bunch formation from the Calgary Stampeders, really designed by George Cortez. See that 3 receivers all bunched right close to the line of scrimmage and to the offensive lineman, and then they break out into patterns. One thing it does is it helps with some blocking schemes and maybe some angles. Jacques Chapdelaine, the new offensive coordinator. But the other thing is it brings defenders closer to the box, closer to the line of scrimmage.
Almost like having 3 tight ends in a bunch.
That's right.
And then scatter. Crandall hasn't run a great deal tonight. He will here, and he'll get a 1st down.
Yeah, and see, this time what they did is they took the bunch and they moved the bunch outside. See, they take the bunch and now they spread them out a little bit. And now watch the running lane that's opened up. See, people who don't like the bunch will say, see all the defenders now, they have to spread out to cover all those receivers. That takes them away from the line of scrimmage, and then when you're not near the line of scrimmage, you get a little bit of running lane.
From the 47. Stampeder 1st down. Crandall thinking run all the way. He's got another 1st down and took a hit as he crossed the 50.
Oh, is he going to get back to the right huddle?
He's okay.
Yeah, that's tough running from a quarterback.
Hitchcock again. No safety slide from the quarterback there.
And I know Matt Dunnigan just came out of his seat in the studio because he played that way, and you got to love Marcus Crandall for that.
Gain of 14. Crandall, no one home.
But now did he have some cobwebs there that he was trying to shake off, because that ball kind of went up and over. See, now they've spread it out. Again, they can spread out the formation, get the 3 receivers to the outside. Look at the jam right there. I believe it was Troy Saunders eliminated a pattern. Jacques Chapdelaine basically using the same offense George Cortez used a year ago, maybe throwing in some little bit different terminology with regards to the receivers.
Tiger win in Hamilton, alive tonight in a 1-point game. Crandall can't find anyone. Flags are down. Crandall lost the ball. It's loose. And he fires it into row. Well, not quite. I thought it was going out, but it didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. There was a flag down already.
Well, you might as well just relax and have some cheesies or something, because this one's going to take a little bit of time to work out. First of all, there's flags on the field. Intentional grounding. It's one of them.
Well, and holding was the previous one. Was the first part of the penalty.
Holding was the previous one. I was just looking at Ron Lancaster live here. There's the holding. The fumble comes out now. Now Crandall's got to try and pick it up, and in desperation, he has to get that ball across the line of scrimmage.
Holding Calgary 83. Decline. Intentional grounding. Calgary number 1. Third down.
There's Darren McField in on the quarterback there. He's playing extremely well, according to Ron Lancaster. Stopped in Winnipeg, BC, and Edmonton, and he's found a home in Calgary this year. 39-yard loss for the Stampeders. O'Mahony standing back near his 10. Stephen Fisher. Spin move. Nice return. Superb field position for the Tiger Cats. Lost ball. It goes right back to the Stampeders.
Yeah, I think it came out right at the end of the play.
Third turnover, second by Steve Fisher.
One too many moves for Steve Fisher.
The return was fine. The spin there, okay. And right there, he lost the ball. First and 10, Calgary, when we come back. Had a tough evening. 2 turnovers. This is the second one.
Willie Fell strips his ball, and he doesn't even realize he's done it because he gets spun around, number 39, and with his left hand, he pulls it out of there, and you can see the knee has not touched the ground.
The ball was stripped before Fisher hit the turf. As a result, it's first and 10. 3 turnovers by the Tiger Cats. Crandall for a couple.
You know, this is a tough call to make, John, and whether or not Fisher was on the ground, and you got to credit the officials here because, wow, it happens. I mean, we slow it down for you. This happens full speed in a split second, and that knee was about 3 inches from touching the ground when the ball was jarred loose. It was the correct call to make, and there's more calls to come, and here we go.
Against the Tiger Cats.
Major foul. Unnecessary roughness. Hamilton 49. First down.
Okay.
That's Tim Cheatwood.
John, you're the official here. Watch it full speed.
It's a heck of a call.
Fumble or not?
I'd say it was.
Yeah, well, it was, but we slowed it down to find out.
But yeah, we cheated a little bit there. They got
That's how tough
call.
it is.
Ticats digging a hole here. Cheatwood took the penalty, giving the Stampeders new life, and here's a touchdown toss. Almost. He was in behind everyone. Tunkara.
And Marcus Crandall may have just rushed the throw a little bit. He may have had a little more time. Now, there were bodies flying around, but when he stepped up after he rolls to his left, he has a lane, he steps up there. Well, actually, I take it back a little bit. Tim Cheatwood was right in his face.
Yeah.
He had to get it out of there.
Now, did Tunkara slow down just a little bit before the ball got there?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, it just looked like a bit of an overthrow.
All right, second and 10. Stampeders at the 45 of the Tiger Cats. Time here for another long toss. Flags are down. Coverage was too tight, and they call it a touchdown.
Well, Don Blair was in an all-out fist fight with Dwayne Butler.
And Blair came up with the ball. They rule it a touchdown. And the only question right now is which way did the interference go?
Forward pass interference. Hamilton 25. Decline. Touchdown.
There's your
Usually it goes against the defender.
Well, and Dwayne Butler didn't look back. Don Blair gets involved suddenly in this Calgary offense. They were battling, there's no question, and Dwayne Butler didn't turn around and look at the football. And I don't know how Blair came up with the catch. Had a very good training camp.
He was going to get the flag anyway.
Don Blair had a very good training camp, and then he was injured. They were actually calling Blair in training camp Spider-Man. He used his spider senses there to come up with that catch, and they're going to go for 2.
Stampeders have a 5-point lead right now.
Good call.
They'll go for 2. Crandall is hot. He's got it. Tunkara made the catch there on the 2-point conversion. So now it's a 7-point game, and the lead has changed hands 5 times. Crandall to Tunkara. for 2 more to make it 31-24. Stampeders are back in the lead after trailing at halftime.
Marcus Crandall pays retail price for a touchdown pass. Larry Fitzpatrick right under his chin, and Spider-Man comes up with one.
Don Blair makes a miraculous catch. Flags had gone down on the coverage.
Boom. That's a lot of weight coming down on you, too, at 275.
First catch for Don Blair. 17 points for the Stampeders off Ticat turnovers. Mace Freeman tries to get Hamilton back in the game. There's lots of time. Just under 5 minutes remaining. Well, the game so far. You ready for this?
Well, Darren Flutie got involved early, second all-time with 923 catches.
And Danny McManus had the Ticats alive and throwing 2 touchdown passes in the second quarter. But then,
yeah, Stampeders, we talked about it, 17 points off turnovers, big difference in this ball game, and a lot of those running yards by Davis first half, majority of them.
So it's a 1 touchdown game. Ticats try to get even now with this drive beginning out at the 42. Charges on McManus. He releases in a hurry. This is Troy Davis away from a couple.
We put extra foam on those camera carts, and it's a good thing, because Troy Davis now goes and takes a load to it, and he's kind of limping on his way back. Earlier, Kelvin Anderson went under there and checked the oil on the thing. He was pushed so far underneath it, but it's well padded up.
It's hard to do. It's electric.
Oh. Well, you check the wiring then. 220, 225, whatever it takes.
Near midfield. McManus releases for Davis. Hand down. Another big hit. Just shy of a first down, although he may get it. He's awfully close. Alondra Johnson was there.
Big night for Alondra Johnson, and be bigger if Calgary could hold on and win this game, but he, his 1,000th tackle.
He is second all-time behind the great Willie Pless, who had all those great years with the Eskimos. Coming into tonight, Alondra was 242 tackles behind Pless, so he's got a couple of seasons to go to catch him. Here's Davis, second down, less than a yard to go.
Willie Fells just flying around the football, and he's really made an impact in this game. After the loss to Saskatchewan, Willie Fells went in the media, and he basically took the loss and he put it on his shoulders. He was hard on himself. Mike Roach to the left, you know, told him, don't worry about your play. You're playing pretty well. Defensive coordinator, and Willie Fells took it hard. He said, you know, I've got to play better as an individual, and he's doing it tonight.
Fells has led the Stampeders in several ways tonight, and they are back in the lead with 3 minutes to go. We'll take a timeout at Ivor Wynn. Into the final 3 minutes. The lead has changed hands 5 times. Ticats, 1st and 10, just inside the 45. McManus under the cover. Nice pass, nice play. Tony Akins has his first catch of the night.
Willie Fells is playing so well in this game, and he just didn't get quite enough outside play right here. Akins going to end up in the middle of the field. But Willie Fells didn't get just enough depth. See, Willie Fells, he was kind of caught inside on the hash mark, couldn't get all the way outside to the numbers. That's a long, in fairness, that's a long way for the linebacker to travel. But he has put together some kind of game tonight.
20-yard game. Here are the Ticats inside the 25 of Calgary now. McManus with time. Far side.
Oh. Whoa.
This is a little more like Danny McManus, as Trevor Shaw made the catch short of the first down.
Now you can see in his eyes that he's in a bit of a zone again. Something he hasn't been in for 2 weeks. Moving the ball in a crucial situation now with 2:18 and running. Ron Lancaster Jr. gets this one in here, and now Calgary still has time.
2:08 on the clock here in the stadium. This is second down. Another helmet loose down there. It's not a fumbled football.
Greg Frères is going to collect all the equipment after the scrum and go back and find out which guy is headless. There he is.
Well, hatless is a better way to put it.
I should say hatless. Billy
Hatless
Harvey
reminds you of the horseman. You know?
Yeah.
Okay, it is a first down.
Yeah, the head wasn't in the hat, but there's the hat back on. And that's happened a couple of times, but it's been that kind of game. It has been so physical down there. And, you know, we see a lot of the perimeter hits, a lot of the outside hits by linebackers. But in those trenches, they happen every play.
Ticats first and goal at the 12. McManus goes to the end zone. He's got it. Archie Amerson. You know, Glenn, this is more like it for both of these teams. When we looked at McManus score the 2 touchdowns in the second quarter, that felt more like the Ticats of old. When we watched Crandall come back and get his scores and field goals, it felt more like the Stampeders we watched in the playoffs in particular and in the Grey Cup last year.
I would agree 100% because, you know, for Calgary, learning the new personnel is part of the problem, but they're starting to figure it out, and they are looking like the teams of a year ago.
All even at 31-31.
And this was a perfect drive and a typical Danny McManus drive. Little play action, and wide open is Archie Amerson. Zone coverage down there on the goal line. As you can see, the defensive backs drop. There's only a 4-man rush. Troy Davis steps up and gives Danny McManus just an extra second to throw the football. And that's a pretty good block from a little man in Troy Davis. And I say little in height. He's strong.
Third touchdown toss of the evening for Danny McManus. His first 3 coming in week 3.
Sometimes when you're in a slump, whether it's touchdown passes or interceptions as a defensive back, you know, your coaches will tell you that if you hang in there and you keep doing the little things and the fundamentals, sooner or later they're going to come. And when they come, they may come in bunches. And 0 in 2 games, 3 in 1 game.
So let's see what the final 1 minute and 41 seconds has in store for us here tonight. It's 31-31. Stick around. The newcomer, Ramon Adams. And the Tiger Cats swarm him at the 30. Marcus Crandall, a slow start. 11 of 26, 209. Not outstanding, but he has 2 touchdowns, and he's driven for field goals as well to get the Stampeders back in this.
And the pressure on Marcus Crandall is more than just this game. Minute and 34 to go. He needs to drive his football team into field goal range for the win. And how important of a win would it be for a team that comes in here 0-2 after winning the Grey Cup last year? That puts more pressure on Marcus Crandall right now.
Lots of time for a couple of scores here. The Stamps can drive, and the Ticats might have a chance to respond. Calvin Anderson will have a first down. 1:26 on the clock.
Jacques Chapdelaine trying to get some of the calls into Marcus Crandall to help him out. By now, at this point in the game, the defense has become a little bit more predictable. And that's where you wonder if Don Southern might gamble, throw a blitz or 2 at Marcus Crandall to see if he can handle it. Chapdelaine now thinks he's going to get more zone defense than anything else.
This joint is alive. Crandall on first down. No one home on a deep pattern. Rob Johnson, the newcomer. Johnson was the target.
Now the duel begins. Now this is the chess match between Jacques Chapdelaine, offensive coordinator for the Calgary Stampeders, and the veteran coach and defensive coordinator, Don Southern. When does Don Southern gamble, send a blitz, and hope that his guys get home, or does he stay back and be patient?
2nd and 10, Calgary at the 40. We're in a tie game, and either win. Crandall has a first down at the 50-yard line. Don Blair, 2 big catches in the fourth quarter.
Well, Don Southern this time goes with a straight man-to-man defense, and Jacques Chapdelaine just got a pretty good pattern out of his receiver. And obviously, by the time that he had in the protection up front, the right call from Jacques Chapdelaine. So now, at what point does Don Southern maybe take Rob Hitchcock, send him out of the middle? See, there's Hitchcock to the left. He's going to drop back and be free. Straight cover one defense. In other words, everybody in man-to-man with the free safety, the one player that's free in the middle to help on deep patterns. That is a fairly basic defensive structure. But Don Southern has tons of blitzes and a whole bunch of blitz package into his packages. And now he can go and send one at Marcus Crandall as he talks to Jacques Chapdelaine. Now here's what happens, John. They go, when is it coming?
They know at one point Southern's sending.
They know sooner or later Don Southern's got to come with some pressure, especially if there's 1 or 2 more completions. At what point does he send Rob Hitchcock, or does he send Sean Woodson, Warren Muzica, the linebacker? And this is the chess match that goes on in virtually every single game.
Troy Saunders is the injured Tiger Cat on the field near the 47-yard line, being tended to. Into the final minute now. It says 59 seconds on the clock. The lead has changed hands 5 times tonight. And we're back to a tie. So we really haven't accomplished anything.
Well, this could also affect, as you see Troy Saunders get up there, also affect what Don Southern can call now.
31-31 is the score.
Because Steve Fisher, who's had his problems on special teams tonight, comes into the game, number 22, a rookie defensive back. Now, does Southern put Steve Fisher into a man-to-man situation where he may get hooked up with Travis Moore?
He's got Kyle Walters and Stephen Fisher to come in the secondary. And here we go.
Hang tight.
2nd and 10. It's loud in here. No catch.
Oh, baby. Steve Fisher was in a one-on-one, and Don Southern said, I got confidence in my rookie, and put him in a one-on-one. I believe it was Rob Johnson, and Rob Johnson was going deep. Crandall didn't see him.
So it'll now be 2nd and 10.
It's going to come on this side of your screen. Crandall's looking the opposite way, but Rob Johnson is deep on Fisher and in behind him.
This is the play of the ball game. Marcus Crandall will take off himself. He's across. Can he get to the first down marker? He might have made it. You can hear Hitchcock suggesting he was down before that first down at the 40-yard line, and I think he might have a point.
The pocket collapsed on Marcus Crandall, or he can throw for a first down and have Travis Moore face Rob Hitchcock. We saw Moore wide open on the play, but because it broke down, here's what happens.
Watch for the spot. Well, he snuck underneath and gets within inches of a first down. This is 3rd and 10. Stampeders with a chance to win it. Getting a first down here. No flags. The drive will continue.
Boy, Rob Hitchcock is not taking prisoners in this game either. He is throwing the leather around. Another big hit on Marcus Crandall. And he is flying up from his safety position. Remember, Rob Hitchcock has to travel about 25 yards or so to get to the quarterback who's scrambling out of the pocket, and he gets there. Another big hit right there is getting full marks to Marcus Crandall for not hook sliding, getting that extra yard and a half.
Into the final 9 seconds, Stampeders can finish out the Tiger Cats here. Down to the 30, and that'll stop the clock, bring on the kicker.
You know, and it's an interesting call to run the football there and to do the play that they ran, to pitch it 4 or 5 yards deep into the backfield. That's a gutsy call from Jacques Chapdelaine, no question about it. I understand the run. You're playing for the field goal, and you're in field goal range already for Mark McLaughlin, so you don't want to throw the ball and take a chance of an interception. However, the play that they ran to toss it back to Kelvin Anderson was a gutsy one, and now the game's on the line for McLaughlin.
Remember the other night in BC?
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
And the field goal on the last play of the game that went wide.
And this is where 38 football players that are bruised, that are battered, that are tired, are watching one man and the game on the line.
Flutie and Osbaldiston are deep in the end zone. Not usually there. But if McLaughlin misses this from 39, Ozzie will try and kick it out. He's wide. He's wide. 31-31. Are you ready for overtime?
Oh, my goodness. That is unbelievable in the week that it has been for kickers. Twice now, the game on the line, and that's a veteran in Mark McLaughlin.
McLaughlin coming in was good on 1 of 3, but he had a solid night.
Let's take a look at the hold from Don Blair. Perfect in my estimation. Laces away. Spin was right and stop. Ball in a good position. And Mark McLaughlin just pushed it right. Andrew Grigg, now he knows there's no time on the clock, so Andrew Grigg has to kick it out of bounds into the field of play and then out of bounds.
He doesn't want that back
kick back
bouncing onto the field and staying as a live ball so that the Stampeders can kick it back into the end zone, get a single point and win.
That's a difficult situation.
You got to love this game, don't you? You really have to love it. I mean, I know people don't like single points on field goals in some instances. Well, you know, I mean, if being rewarded for a miss, but I mean, look what it does to the finish of a football game.
You're absolutely right. What it does is it makes you return or handle every kick, whether it's missed or not, and that's the bottom line. Here's what happens now. Here's what happens now. The teams play a maximum of 2 mini games.
Each team will scrimmage from the 35-yard line and try to score.
Now, and the team that scores the most points and is not matched obviously gets the extra point. Both teams already have 1 point in the standings for going the distance in regulation and being tied.
And what we have here is a shootout.
It's a shootout.
And we've had this a couple of times, and this is only week 3.
Well, we actually, when we get to the game for Wendy's Friday Night Football, we ask the coaches for close ones. And so far, they've come through for us, so I think we can send them a hat or something.
I think a hat would be, we can send them both a hat.
Marcus Crandall's come on in the second half.
He had real tough numbers in the early going, a lot of 2-and-outs when the Tiger Cats were driving to take the lead. But the shootouts, and we're set for it. Wally Buono has his first point of the season, still looking for his first victory of the season.
Well, Hamilton won the toss in the shootout because at the start of the mini games in the shootout, there's another coin toss. Hamilton won and wants to go on defense first to see what Calgary can produce offensively. If they come away with nothing, a single can win it for Hamilton.
So here we go, play 1 of the shootout. Stampeders. Crandall will have a first down. Travis Moore made the catch, and there's a penalty marker down. Right back at the line of scrimmage.
This is the only concern for an offense, because when you get the ball in the 35, you're basically in field goal range right there. If you don't do anything.
Holding, Calgary 68. Repeat first down.
This is Fred Childress there.
This is the only way you can be pushed out of field goal range. I mean, you can run 2 plays, kneel down, kick a field goal. At least you've got 3.
Yeah, the only way is take a penalty or get the quarterback trapped, and you're going to unload the ball before that happens, obviously. So this is 1st and 20. Crandall has Travis Moore. And he's got most of the first down yardage back.
This is the positive side of that bunch formation. Travis Moore, this is the back side of the play. Travis Moore to the right side. You see that bunch down there at the bottom of your screen? Well, as they take off the line of scrimmage, see, they're all together. Now it's tough to pick them up as they come out. Now they break out, and Moore just opens up. Bam, there he is.
Moore got 15, so not bad. It's 2nd and 5. Be a first down. The Stampeder possession continues. Ibtun Kara making the catch on the pass from Marcus Crandall.
Now here's the other thing. If Hamilton should pick up a fumble or an interception and take it the distance, they win.
Yes, they do.
And get that extra point. So hang on.
Or a wide field goal.
Hang on. You're burning. You're going to hurt me here. You're grabbing my arm so hard up here. Let's go.
Stampeders have another first down here. Kelvin Anderson is hammered.
Talk about putting some hurt on.
Tim Cheatwood.
Boy, the hitting has been enormous.
Now you can't hear it as well over the crowd here because the Iverwin spectators are getting right into this and overriding some of the crunches. 2nd down. And that play is whistled.
Did they get it off in time? I'm not so sure. That might be a time count violation. Well, he got it off with 1 second left. I was watching the clock.
Procedure, Calgary 64. Repeat 2nd down.
Jeff Pilon on the procedure, and maybe Marcus Crandall also looked at the clock and rushed that snap count a little bit. He gets the procedure call because that was like at 0.5 seconds when they snapped it.
So another 2nd and long facing the Stampeders. Crandall. Chased by Bryant, got it away. Oh, intercepted. Hitchcock. He can go. If he can take it all the way, not quite. What an interception by Rob Hitchcock. His 3rd of the season. He's played 3 games.
That play, you won't see any better. Rob Hitchcock followed Crandall as he scrambled. See number 42 in the middle of your screen. He's to the right now. He's going to be over here. Rob Hitchcock's going to keep working. Watch athletically how he comes back, breaks back to his left, and then lays out completely. And comes up with the interception, his 3rd. And here are the other 2. The BC Lions got things started.
This was the easy one.
This is relatively easy compared to what he just did.
This was a little more difficult.
Well, they're getting tougher every single time. He had to reach up for that one.
And the 3rd was his very best. Excellent form here in the air for Hitchcock to grab this one and end the Stampeder drive.
That is pretty.
Ticats get a chance to win it now.
Well, that is an amazing play from Rob Hitchcock, who's been all over the field. He has come up, put some big hits on the quarterback, Marcus Crandall, and may come up with the play of the game.
Calgary's first turnover is right there on the interception by Rob Hitchcock. And he's describing it to his coach on the sideline as if Don Southern really needs to hear about it now. We're in extra time here tonight, so Duffy and Pollard sit back, relax, and we'll send it to you when we're ready. Sports Center right after we're done.
If Calgary Stampeders can come up with some kind of defensive stand here, they have to go one more time. So just Sports Center, just hold on, hang on there, hold tight. We'll get to you. But But Danny McManus on first down, he goes to Troy Davis. Be conservative. They're in Paul Osbaldiston's range right now to kick a field goal. And remember, all he has to do is hammer this ball hard enough so that even if it's wide, gets a single point, they win the game.
Second down and 8. They'll run again. Now, Ticats play conservatively here.
Mark McLaughlin, the veteran, had his chance to win the game.
Now it's up to Osbaldiston. You know, terrific story for these two. Coming into the game, Osbaldiston was second all-time scoring behind Lou Pasaglia. About 12 points separated him and the guy in third place, Mark McLaughlin. 2,717, 2,705 coming in, and they both had good nights kicking.
McLaughlin's been there many, many times. He's back in the end zone like Osbaldiston was with O'Mani.
And like Prefontaine was the other night when he stole one for the Argos. Here's Osbaldiston. It's over.
He's got ice in his veins. That's Canadian football at its best, folks.
That was quite a night. It's only week 3, but in reality, there seemed to be a lot going on this football field at Ivor Wynne Stadium tonight. Ozzie is 4 for 4. Greg puts it down perfectly.
The pin is there. Perfect hold from Andrew Gregg. The snap is there.
Any doubt in his mind?
And the kick is right down the middle.
Ozzie turned to congratulate his holder before the ball got across the 20-yard line. And he was kicking from the 39. Well, we got to give the game ball to Rob Hitchcock, who denied the Calgary Stampeders their chance to score with his 3rd interception of the season. Sport check. Game ball goes to Rob Hitchcock. Play of the game brought to you by Sport Check, Canada's choice for sports.